Oh dear, welcome to the channel, ladies and gents. Straight from the bat, I've got to say, take all of this with a pinch of salt. Because, you know, when people are accused of issues, got to be careful of what I say. Obviously, in videos they get demonetized and suppressed and all that crap. But when people get accused of naughty time, it's not always the case. So take all this with a pinch of salt. But this is alien news because Dark Horse have now cancelled Aliens, Colonial Marines, Rising Threat. Because of this, basically. Now, what is this? Brian Wood. Brian Wood is a writer for Dark Horse Comics and others, I believe. He's wrote quite a lot, actually, for Dark Horse Comics. But he's been accused of naughty time. Again. So, and I know I'm saying naughty time, I'm aware. I'm not a fucking idiot. But it says, anyway, following a series of naughty allegations against prominent men in the gaming industry this week, writer and editor Laura Hudson came forward on Twitter with similar accusations against writer Brian Wood, who is currently writing several series for Dark Horse Comics. He's written so much stuff. In fact, there's a series which is mid-run. Dark Horse Comics have cancelled a bunch of stuff, so I don't know what happens with that one. But Hudson alleges that when she once met Wood at a bar, he grabbed her and forced her into a kiss. Now, she says that she went into the bathroom and looked him up on Wikipedia to see if he was married. He was. She alleges that after the bar, Wood texted her for weeks and repeatedly asked her to have some naughty time, which she refused. So, her actual statement, we're not going to get into the full-blown statement of it all. It's not really the point. We'll get into a little bit of it. Obviously, he texted me 4 weeks afterwards telling me his wife didn't understand him the way I did. Wanted her to go out and F him. I refused. She was scared. How the F are you supposed to react? I didn't know what it meant to say no to my idol. And I had no power at the time. So these are kind of like the accusations, right? Those are just the accusations. And if this is, and I always say this when these things come out, or I try to anyway, is take it with a pinch of salt, because we never know the full story. But obviously completely denounce the dude if that is the case. He's discussing dirty dog, I guess. You know, you can't harass people. It's not right. As noted by Hudson in her Twitter thread, she's not the first to accuse Wood of naughty conduct. In 2013, artist Tess Fowler alleged that Wood had naughty harassed her at a convention years before. At the time, Wood admitted to having made a pass at Fowler but denied any accusations or harassment or abuse. He claimed that Fowler's memory of the incident was incorrect and insisted on a wider industry conversation about men in positions of power wielding that power to abuse young women. I think the larger issue of abuse in the comics industry are genuine, and I share everyone's concern. As a father to a young daughter showing an interest in making her own comics, I do really care about this stuff, so I don't want our difference of accounts to take attention away from that industry-wide discussion that needs to happen. Interesting. There is definitely now, unfortunately, a fine line between just making a pass at someone and being accused of awful misconduct. Like, I think a lot of men tend to feel like they can't approach someone in a bar anymore because they will just be accused of stuff, which is outrageous behavior. You know, like, consistently people ask or state, you know, where's chivalrous men? Where's chivalry? It's dead, FY, and, you know, all this kind of stuff. And that's fine. It's all well and good to say that, but the other side of it is that it's been killed off by the current culture that we live in. You can't do chivalrous acts anymore because, generally speaking, you might get accused, and if you do, it's the end of your career. So I think there is definitely a fine line between someone making a pass, and I'm not disputing Tess Fowler's accusations, but what I am disputing is just the wider conversation of there are absolutely people that go, oh, he made a pass at me, that's naughty, ooh, I'm gonna throw out some accusations now. That's not right at all. So it says, in her Twitter thread, Hudson apologises to Fowler for not speaking out sooner. Fowler also replied, thanking Hudson. Hudson alleges that the day Fowler posted her accusations, Wood emailed Hudson to talk about his niece and how much she loves rock climbing. Hudson also enjoys the sport. She claims the email came out of the blue, and she believes it was motivated by Wood trying to keep her from posting her own accusations, which, yeah, is probably the case. It makes sense, look. I have a 20-year-old niece, blah, blah, blah. Shortly after Fowler went public with her accusations in 2013, Anna Shabina, who worked in a comic shop in the 90s and at DC Comics between 2000 and 2002, also accused Wood of making a pass at her and then threatening her career when she said no. Shabina alleged that Wood retaliated by posting a blind item to a column indicating that she provided naughty favours in the DC stockroom. Hudson's accusations on Twitter prompted Brooklyn comic shop Anyone Comics to state that they will no longer be ordering Wood's titles, as mentioned above, and Wood currently writes several series for Dark Horse Comics. In the last 6 years, since Fowler and Shabina made their accusations, Wood has also worked for Boom Studios, Image Comics, and Marvel Comics. When reached for comment by The Beat, Dark Horse Comics provided the following statement, and this is the one: effective immediately. Dark Horse will not pursue any new projects with Brian Wood. Dark Horse has cancelled the upcoming series Aliens, Colonial Marines, Rising Threat. Damn. Which is a huge shame. Huge shame. This was first announced back in June. Aliens, Colonial Marines, Rising Threat was set to act as a tie-in to Cold Iron Studios games, which is like an upcoming Alien Online shooter thing, apparently. And it will also serve as a sequel, or would have, to Mira Grant's Alien Echo, which would have continued the story of Olivia Shipp. Now, I think what's really interesting about this is Dark Horse would probably, and I say probably because I don't know, but they would probably have to have some evidence of their own to do this. I'd imagine so. Anyway, I know that people have just been fired, I'm aware. But people are a little bit more on edge for doing that nowadays. And it does seem like that only happens when there's some serious evidence. So it's interesting. And then also as well, thanks to AVP Galaxy, they say it's unknown if Dark Horse will look to pursue the title with a different writer. There's a forum member suggested Mira Grant, which, I mean, that would make sense if it was a sequel to Mira Grant's Alien Echo anyway, who currently writes Spider-Gwen, Ghost Spider for Marvel, taking over the pen duties, and that is something that they would personally love to see, which makes sense. Having written a significant portion of the recent Alien stories, Brian Wood's latest series, Rescue, is currently halfway through its release. So that's the other thing, is that it doesn't just stop Aliens Rising Threat, Aliens Colonial Marines Rising Threat, it also potentially stops Aliens Rescue, because they say it's unknown if the remainder of Aliens Rescue will be released, but the additional issues are still on Dark Horse's website, whereas all entries for Rising Threat have already been removed. And this was, well, yeah, it's not been very long, has it? It's been like a few days. So it's been a day. They're bang up for it, by the looks of it. They're really on it. They're hugely on it. So yeah, I mean, Dark Horse still showing Aliens Rescue, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so there's still lots of Aliens Rescue. But no, we're not going to get the, well, potentially what would have been cool, Aliens Colonial Marines Rising Threat. Look, like I say, with all of these things, you got to keep an air of caution with it, but some things line up that there's probably some evidence to back it all up. Making a pass at someone's not a problem. That's not naughty time. No way, shape or form. Proceeding to then threaten people is absolutely naughty time and absolutely an abuse of power. If this guy's done that, he is a dirty dog, and he needs his just desserts, I guess. But what do you guys think? Is this something that you were personally looking forward to? I don't have a lot of comic fans here on the channel, but I know a lot of people would find this interesting anyway. It goes to show the malicious side of geek culture, I guess. what else can you say about it? I mean, that's pretty much it, really, isn't it? So, I'd love to hear your thoughts, so let me know down below in the comments. If you're new here, make sure you hit subscribe. You can stay up to date on the world of pop culture and movie news by hitting the bell notification icon. Thanks so much for watching, though, guys. I've been Mr. H. Take care.